Hey everyone, the time has come for it in the bag. I've had a lot of you ask me what discs I'm going to be throwing this year, and so I wanted to go ahead and put together a video, so I hope you guys enjoy. To start, the bag that I have is the Ridge by Ridge Roller. This is a Wisconsin-based company and they make fantastic bags. The reason why I chose to get a Ridge Roller bag is because they have a ton of storage on the side, but the main disc compartment isn't super large. And you'll learn throughout this in the bag that I don't have a ton of discs, so I wanted something that had a lot of storage, but a main compartment that can't hold 20 discs like some of the bags that are on the market. Not to mention, what I really like about this bag is you can actually sit on it, which is really nice for tournament rounds when there's backups or if it's just a long hole or what have you and you want to sit down. It's nice that that's built in right away. Okay, let's get into the discs. So we'll start with putter and approaches. So my main putters are Exo Hard Links. I've been putting with the Link since August, which, if you don't know me, is a really long time to stick to one putter. I switch my putters a lot, but I really like how the Link flies. They feel very similar to P2s, except they have a bead and they're not nearly as deep, which is good for my smaller hands. I switched from the P3X for the Link, and overall I'm just really excited that I have a putter that I can commit to. Then my third link is an Exo Soft Link. This is primarily my Circle 2 step putt, jump putt disc. I will also throw this for upshots if I need to, but really I'm just putting from outside of the circle with it. Sometimes my Exo Hard Links in the winter get too hard, and so I'll switch to the soft just because it can handle the cold a little bit, but nonetheless, that's the purpose of this disc. Getting into my approach disc, this is an old P-Line P1. Now this is back when Discmania's P-Line was actually super soft, as opposed to some of the P-Line Eagles that you might be used to. This P1 is pretty dang straight. I like the grip specifically for my upshots, so really the only time I'm throwing this is when I need to get up and down to save a stroke, or to, just put myself in the circle to take a par, a birdie, or whatever it is that I'm shooting for. Then my throwing putter is a D-Line P3X. This was given to me by my buddy Micah. It's very beat in now, so it's not as overstable as P3Xs that you might be familiar with. This is a hyzer flip to just dead straight disc. I can also let go of it flat and it'll turn over, but really I'm throwing this off the tee when I just want to either have a nice placement or if it's a short enough hole that a putter is all that's required. And then my last putter and or approach is the brand new Razor Claw, which is part of the Evolution lineup. It's Eagle McMahon's signature series disc. It's actually a Lux Tactic if we're getting technical in what the disc is, but this is an overstable putt and approach. I use this for both backhand and forehand shots, primarily for approach shots. I don't really throw this off the tee too much, but it's really easy to put in the hand and throw it up to the basket. And also in serious headwinds, I'm finding that I can even putt with this because it's that stable and it'll fight it pretty nicely. Next, going into my mid-ranges, I only bag 3 of them. It's pretty straightforward. Understable, stable, overstable. So my understable disc is a Luster MD that was given to me by Danovici a while ago. This thing is pretty seasoned now, so it is just an absolutely straight flyer. I can put a little bit of hyzer on it, and as long as I get the nose angle down a little bit, it'll flip up dead straight and just ride completely straight. This is also a really good disc for anhyzers, and overall just a very point and shoot mid-range. My stable mid-range is a C-Line MD3. This was given to me on my recent trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma by my friend Richard Y. Shout out to Y Dry Chalk Bags. The C-Line MD3 is pretty much every Discmaniac's go-to mid-range. They're super straight. However, for me, they've always been a little bit more on the stable side. So what I use this disc for is a flat release. I throw it so that it goes straight for as long as it can, and then after a little bit it will finish. Now it doesn't dump, it finishes lightly to the left, but nonetheless, this is just a really staple mid-range to have in the bag. Can put it on a lot of different angles, and in a headwind when my MD would probably be just a little too flippy, I'm reaching for the MD3. And my last mid-range is a Color Glow C-Line MD5. This was the first release of them, the European Open fundraiser stamps, when they dropped the MD5. This is a beaded overstable mid-range, very similar to a Gator. I am primarily throwing this for hyzers, maybe some headwind shots, and then forehand up shots. If the Razor Claw is just a little bit too slow of a disc for the distance that I need, then I'll go to the Color Glow MD5. Next, we're going to go into my fairway drivers. I have 3 of them, 2 molds. So my first set of fairway drivers is the FD. I have a G-Line FD, which is a straight to understable FD, and a Color Glow C-Line FD, which is a straight to overstable FD. So 2 discs that cover kind of all 3 of the shots that I need. If it's a tailwind or more of a straight shot, I'm reaching for the G-Line. If it's a headwind or a shot that I want to finish just a little bit to the left, I'm reaching for the C-Line. Then my last fairway driver is a C-Line FD3. Now this is a really unique FD3 because although it is C-Line, it also has some swirls in it, which I just think makes it super pretty. Anyhow, this is an overstable fairway driver. It's slow but overstable. I'm primarily throwing this on forehands, not a lot of distance, just trying to get up and down and finish to the right on the forehand angle. If it's a headwind, I'm not afraid to throw this either. It can fight it pretty well, but overall more of a utility fairway for me. Then my slower distance drivers, I have 2 of them. This is my most popular disc. I throw this all the time. This is my Roaming Thunder 2, which is Dana Vinci's signature series. This is technically an S-Line CD2. These are extremely straight flying discs, super underrated. I would say they're just slightly faster FDs. Overall, just a lot of control with them. They're pretty point and shoot. As they beat in, they become a little bit more understable, but even with a little bit of a hyzer angle, you can get these to go really far, and overall it just works for all arm speeds. Then for my understable slower distance driver, this is a S-Line TD2, better known as the Fever. I throw this primarily for hyzer flip to flexes, big turnovers, or even rollers. It's very understable. If there's a tailwind, I'm not afraid to put a little hyzer on it and throw it, pop it flat, and have the tailwind push it, just a straight line shot, and get me to where I need to go. Then I carry 4 faster speed distance drivers. The first one is the brand new Echo S-Line DD3. This is the most understable version of the DD3, which is why it is in my bag. I can put this flat in pretty much any wind situation, and it's just gonna fly a really big S-curve and get me really far down the fairway. I have a medium arm speed, so I'm maxing out between 360, 370, and this disc is one of those discs that are getting there. There's a little bit of headwind. I can put it on a hyzer angle and flip it up to a flex, and it'll get down there for me. A disc that's super similar to the DD3, Echo DD3 specifically in its flight, is the Neo Enigma. Now, I really got into these last year because they helped me develop a forehand, but for a backhand shot, These discs are just super underrated. It's easy distance is how I like to put it. I throw this primarily for lower hyzer shots where I just need them to glide down. I can throw these in a headwind on a hyzer angle and get a little bit of a flex. But when I'm also going for a forehand shot that I need some distance with, this is the disc I'm going to reach for. Then I feel like every Discmaniac has one of these in their bag. This is a PD2 in the C-line plastic. This is my Blurple one. I dyed it originally from a clear color just so it was easier to find. This is a very overstable distance driver. I'm not 100% sure which run it is, but it is overstable. It's got the bubbles on the bottom of the rim, but not the top. Anyhow, I'm not throwing this off the tee too much unless I'm trying to intentionally get a skip shot. Other than that, this is mainly for skip shots as approaches or positioning. It's more of a utility disc for me. I can also forehand it, not very far, but on shorter holes that require dogleg right finish, I'm reaching for it. Overall, just a super awesome disc to have in the bag. And then the last disc in my bag that I'm primarily throwing is a Blizzard DD2. This is a very fast but very light distance driver, and I'm throwing this primarily for easy distance. I'm rarely throwing this max power. This is a disc that I reach for in situations where I need more control than I need power. So I'm going to power down on my throw, but because it's so light and it's in that Blizzard plastic, it's still going to get some good distance. So this is more of a reach for the bag, point and shoot, and just try to get as far as I can without sacrificing control. So those are the main discs in my bag. I don't really throw a lot. However, I do have a couple honorable mentions in my bag. These are discs that I'm trying out, seeing if they fit, but they're not in my main lineup yet. The first one is the brand new C-Line FD2. This is a lighter one. These are really nice because they don't have too much glide, and so as a result, it's a pretty simply slow hyzer disc, which comes in handy, especially in the woods. Still seeing if it has a place in my bag that maybe my Color Glow FD can't already give me. And then lastly, this is an older disc to me. I had this many years ago and gave it away, and it's found its way back in my bag. This is a C-Line PD 167, so pretty light, but overall these are just a little bit faster FD3s is how I would say it. They're really good for the headwind. I can throw this into a headwind and it's not going to turn over, it's not going to dump, it's going to get a pretty close to a full flight, and then it's going to finish. So I'm seeing if there's a spot specifically for this disc in my bag. Right now I feel my CD2 can handle the shot I just described, but as the CD2 beats in, perhaps this is going to just have a little bit more integrity in its stability to continue to fight the wind. Alright, let's take a look at some of the stuff I have in my bag. So aside from discs, I of course have the official rules, you gotta have that. I have a neoprene kneeling pad with my local sponsor, the Disc Golf Experiences logo on it. This is perfect for muddy situations where you just need to set this down and kneel, get on the ground. It saves your pants, it's waterproof. Very fantastic thing to have. I have some hand warmers because we just got out of the winter months here in Wisconsin. Then I have a clipboard, of course, by local photographer that sold it to me as kind of a fundraiser for their tour, which is pretty cool. I have my Milwaukee County pass for 2020. Gotta have the pass to play the courses. Then on the other side, I've got a pink DGX Mini. Pink is my go-to Mini because my mother, quite a few years ago, passed away from breast cancer. And so this is just kind of a little tribute to her, a little reminder to me on the course to keep a level head and remember, it's all for fun anyhow. Then I also have some chalk bags from my sponsor, Y Dry Chalk Bags. I have two right now. This is the Nate Radke Signature Series. My friend Nate, who's also on the team. There's a hole in this one, so it's super chalky, which is awesome. And then I have my newest team stamped one with the Packer logos on the other side. Super sweet chalk bags made with 100% chalk and rice to help with absorbing the moisture off your hands. So check them out if you had never heard of them. Then in this pocket, I have towels, you know, the essential towels. And in my last pocket here, I have, let's see, I've got some mittens because we're just coming out of the colder months. I'm a YouTuber, so of course I have a tripod to film some stuff or film myself talking. I'll put my phone and my keys and my wallet in there, so forth. A lot of storage though. I don't even use it for everything that I could be using it for, but anyhow, just perfect bag, simple disc lineup, enough for me, carries all the shots I need, and that's the way I like it. All right, that's what's in my bag. The mystery has been revealed. I hope you guys are satisfied. If you are, I'd appreciate a like, thumbs up on this video. You know the drill. If you have any questions about what's in my bag or how the discs fly or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. I answer every single comment, so feel free to do that. And if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate a subscribe. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you on the course once COVID-19 has finally blown over.